Okay, so in this video, I'll be showing the solutions to the succeeding questions in the Type 2 for MT3 Assessment 1. In the previous video, I have shown you the solutions to 1A to C. So we are now on number 1D. So in 1D, we still want to expand expressions, and it is given as 2A. So the expression given is 2A over B plus B and then squared. So when you expand expressions, all you have to do is to recognize what kind of expression is given. Like in this case, if you look at the expression, it is in the form A plus B squared. Okay? Because you have two terms, so the first term is 2A over B and the second term is a B. So if it is in the form of A plus B squared, then how you expand this will follow A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. Okay, so that means you square the first term, and then 2 times the product of A and B, the first and the second term, and then square the second term or the last term. Okay, but since we have 2A over B as the first term and B, so following the expanded form, we have to square the first, 2A over B square plus 2, so 2 times the product of the first is 2A over B, and the second, which is B. And then the last step is to square the second term, so that's basically B squared. And then simplify by expanding 2A over B squared, that's 4A squared over B squared, plus here you could see that you can cancel B, and that 2 times 2A is 4A, so you have 4A, and then plus B squared. So this is the expanded form of 2A over B plus B raised to 2. Okay, so that's basically by following how to expand a binomial of the form A plus B squared. Okay, in letter E, so let's take a look at letter E. So you have 7R minus 3/5 Q, and then 7R plus 3 over 5 or 3/5 Q. Again, the key on expanding expression is to first identify if it is a special product, meaning does it follow a certain special product. In the previous one, in letter D, we have seen that it is in the form of A plus B squared. Now, in letter E, if you look at the terms in each group or binomial, you could see that 7R as the first term of the first group is the same as the 7R, the first term in the second group, as well as the last terms, so it's 3/5 Q and 3/5 Q also in the second group. And the only difference between these two group of expressions is that one is a minus sign, there's a minus sign in the middle, and then the other one is a plus, so it is a sum of 7R plus 3 and 3 over 5Q. So I hope you could recognize this, that it follows the form of A minus B times A plus B. And that whenever the expressions follow the form of A minus B times A plus B, there's a faster way of expanding it, because this will just result to A squared minus B squared. Okay, so in this video, I'm not going to show you anymore how we arrive on this, because this is what we have discussed in class. But just to show you the solution for letter E, the expectation is that you already understand that A minus B times A plus B is equal to A squared minus B squared. So how do we apply this special product? So since 7R minus 3/5 Q times 7R plus 3/5 Q follows this form, is that all we have to do is to square the first term, that's A, and then minus the square of the second term. So the first term in the binomial is 7R. So 7r squared means 49. If you square 7 is 49. If you square, it is r squared, or if you square the r. And then the b here is your 3/5 q. So if you square the b, the 3/5 q, that means 3 squared is 9, 5 squared is 25, and q gets a square. And this will be a minus sign. Okay? It's a squared minus b squared. So that's how you expand the given expression in letter E. And then moving on, let's take a look at letter F. So m over 3 plus n over 2 multiplied by n over 2 minus m over 3. Okay, so if you look at it, you have same terms but they're not in the same order. Okay, so one thing that you can do is you could always arrange the expression, but you have to follow rules that are applicable. You cannot just interchange terms without any valid reason. Now, what I can do here is that, or what we can do here is that I can factor out the negative 1 on the second group, and this will become m over 3 minus n over 2. Right? So, and then we have m over 3 plus n over 2, still the same. And then just to make the solution organized, since this is multiplication, you can arrange the values being multiplied. So negative 1 can be written at the first, and then you have m over 3 plus n over 2, and then you have m over 3 minus n over 2. Now, if you didn't get why did we factor out negative 1, our goal is to make them both start with m over 3, and then they both end with n over 2. And since the first one is the sum of the m over 3 and n over 2, and the difference is and the second one is the difference of m over 3 and m over 2, you could see that this is also, or this also follows the form of a plus b times a minus b. And if you look at the formula for a plus b times a minus b, anything of that form will result to the square of a minus the square of b. So to simplify this, so negative 1 will remain as negative 1, and then m over 3 plus n over 2 times m over 3 minus n over 2 will just be the square of m over 3, so m squared over 9, minus the square of n over 2, which is n squared over 4. Okay, so you can leave your answer in this form, or sometimes or some people would also distribute negative 1 just to remove the negative 1. So we have, if we multiply by the distributive law, we have negative m squared over 9 and then plus n squared over 4. And finally, you could also arrange as n squared over 4 minus m squared over 9. And this will be the final answer. Okay. Let's get one more. We could actually finish all the number 1 questions. So 1G. So in 1G, you have a squared plus 3 over 5 times a squared minus 3 over 5. Again, this is an expression following the form of a plus b times a minus b. So the product is basically the square of the first minus the square of the second. So this is equal to a to the 4th minus 9 over 25. And that's the final answer. Okay? And then in letter H, you have 6x minus 3 over 8y, and then you raise it to 2. So this expression follows the form of a minus b squared. So this is a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So applying this, we have 6x minus 3 over 8 y squared is the same as 6x squared minus 2 our A is 6x, our B is 3 over 8y, and then b squared is, so you have plus 3 over 8y, and then squared. And finally, just simplify. 6x squared is 36, x squared, 2 times 6 is 12, and then this will become 12. So 12 and 8 will become 4. 3 and 2. So this will be 3 times 3 over 2, 9 over 2. So that's minus 9 over 2. And then x, y. And then square 3 over 8y. That's 9 over 64. And then y squared. So you could write your answer as 36x squared minus 9xy over 2 plus 9y squared over 64. Okay. And then, yeah, that's it. That's the solutions to problems 1D to 1H. So again, just to summarize how we answered each and every question on the expansion of algebraic expressions, the key was to identify the form of the given expression. So which special product is it? Is it an a plus b squared? Is it an a minus b squared? Is it a plus b times a minus b? So once you recognize a form, then you could easily follow what you could call it the formula or the expanded form of each special product. Okay, so that's for this video, and for the next one I'll be showing you the solutions to number 2.